Even Vitorp's strat where he skips Bob and goes around, when we watched him do that and it burned him a bit because Bob had the big key, it didn't actually slow him down as much. Oh, here we go.
Here it is. What do we got? We're going to find out right away. 10 arrows and a red rupee.
2 different starts right off the bat.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if we're going to be getting some early Houlihan or... Because this is the most interesting part. This is why I like open mode as opposed to standard, is there are so many different ways you can route the beginning.
Yeah, Schwarz is going for the Houlihan strat here. I'm not. DT is not, so it's going to be a completely different start for both runners.
And we saw 2 crystal dungeons.
And a pendant string. I believe it was a red, but I'm not too sure. I know Harrow was 7, so it's not main crystal that we want. I didn't catch desert. Ooh, bombs right out of the tree. That's a really good start. Definitely want to have bombs going into Kakariko because it helps a lot with getting all those walls open without spending any rupees.
Mm-hmm. And it just makes it for a little bit more efficient routing because then you don't have to walk all the way down, buy bombs, and then walk all the way back up.
Yeah, it looks so far like not doing the Houlihan is going to pay off for DT.
In a race we saw earlier today, we saw someone gamble on getting bombs in Blind's basement, and thankfully they were bailed out. Speaking of being bailed out, the bush crab, yeah. Was that what you were talking about earlier? The bush crab?
Yeah, they got 4 bombs. Or no, he got bombs out of the tree pull, so I guess
oh my gosh,
the tree and the crabs are bombs.
Tons of bombs. And picking up that Cane of Samaria right off the bat.
It's a good start. This is another strat I like to see from Schwarz here, is going up from the bottom. Aga Tower check almost always doesn't pay off, but it is a good bit of information, but going up this way means you're going to go a little faster, so maybe those seeds where you don't have to do Aga Tower, you're going to be ahead.
And Schwarz picking up his cane. What an interesting first item. What can you do with a cane at this point in the game?
If you ask Super Scudge, he would say anything. He loves that item.
Well, that's Scudge. He's in the other tournament, so...
If they get magic and maybe some early access to some fights, they could do some bosses. Several bosses can be killed with a cane pretty easily.
What if they get Hammer and Mushroom? They could do that silly Batcave glitch.
They could. I'm not sure how many runners have actually learned that yet, so it'd be cool to see if one of them tries something good.
It's such a very specific glitch.
Yeah, the sequence break from it is insane though, because you're only skipping powder, but that powder could be in Ganon's tower. So.
Oh look, Futon, you got your first sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck it, Willard.
Hey. Well, good thing DT had those bombs, so.
Yeah, it was paying off pretty well. Although Schwarz going straight to the bottom here is going to pick them up as well.
It's always definitely worth checking tree pulls and bush crabs, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Because you never know if you're going to get like triple red rupees or stuff like that. And picking up the flute in Kakariko, that's value.
That's a good time save. And blue mail too.
Man, once you get that flute going, like that kind of changes your early game routing instantly. Where all of a sudden you're like, do I go ahead and do the Death Mountain stuff and then save the old man, or should I just keep doing my? It's like when you get early Death Mountain or Dark World access. Do you continue going with your Light World route, or do you immediately jump in?
That always gives me a nightmare because I'm always torn, and then I make a decision, and if it doesn't go well for me right away, I'm always sitting there going, "Oh no, my other opponent, he went that way."
I've made the worst mistake.
But yeah, flute this early means he can go to the race game and just go straight to the dam, and no downtime at all, no save and quit. It's just a really quick routing.
He can also check, what's on the ledge at Desert, check quick Agana check maybe.
Yeah, that's also really good because a lot of runners don't even go to Agana until like 40 minutes in. So if there's an important item there and you flute there right away, you might win the seed just on that decision.
Though I do feel like that Agana's Cave and Ice Rock Cave definitely don't feel as valuable anymore until that one seed where you have that opinion and then all of a sudden it's like Titan Mitts in there or something ridiculous.
Yeah, my last seed had a hook shot in there.
Oh, that's woof.
It was dangerous. I was
Yeah, I bet.
certain I was done, but the runner that was against me checked it even later than I did, so it was okay.
So you
That's a
lucked
good
out.
thing
Nice.
about those is you don't have to worry about gambling on them too much because usually the other player won't either.
Uh-huh.
So you can feel comfortable letting them go for a little bit. But if you want to play risky and go for them right away and it pays off, boy, are you in the lead.
Well, I don't think checking Ice Rock Cave is a risky choice.
Yeah, that one's not so risky.
Or Agana. Well, if you have Flute, Agana is not a risky choice anymore. You don't have Flute, then yeah, it's who goes to Agana like after the dam? No one. Nobody does that. That's just silly.
Only if you have book.
Only if you have Book.
That's my rule.
Schwartz picking up his sword and activating his flute. I wonder if we're going to see a Hyrule Castle visit anytime soon, because neither player has checked the Uncle, if I recall correctly. And with all this access and movement abilities at this point, you know, see the players putting that off for a while. And if Uncle ends up having something that's like right next to one of the starting places, it could really shake things up.
Yeah, getting boots early is great for Uncle because there is that long stretch going into Hyrule Castle, so you can save some time there. So it's kind of nice to do that when you have that. But at the same time, getting it right away, you're already at Link's house. It's not much of a harm, or it's not a problem really.
Well, right now at this point, neither player really has any money for Zora's. Zora's really not on the plate, and without a glove, it's not. Oh, well. Schwartz going for the Eastern Sahasrahla play. Maybe at least Sahasrahla. We're seeing a divergence, people.
This is very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this type of play before. There is a lot of chests here, and if he goes into Eastern, there's even more. He can learn what's in that dungeon and not have to come back because it's a pendant, so could be a really good play here.
Yeah, and we see Mini Molder not really paying off for TT, other than picking up a couple hearts and a couple rupees and a shield. Oh, wow. There it is. Well, that doesn't change too much.
Yeah, there's very little that gloves can do right now. They got back half of escape entrance, which looks like is where Schwartz is going right away.
Yeah, good play. I am known to forget to immediately go there after getting the gloves. Sometimes.
Yeah, I usually go pretty late, but I don't forget about it so much as I'm always...
They have other stuff to do.
Yeah, I usually plan ahead because I don't like getting lost. I don't feel it's like a good thing to have nothing to do at times, so...
Mm-hmm.
I don't react well to getting new items, is really what I'm saying.
What do I do with my hands? What do I do with these items? Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay. Well, we're a moon pearl away from the Dark World. But what's that cape? What's that cape doing? What is that? What does that mean?
Are you looking at some bumper cave, or is it just gonna be some Aghanim? Maybe it's just for some spike rooms.
Oh, wow! Hook shot on Lake Hylia Island. So we know we'll be needing those flippers and that mirror.
And that pearl.
That's
Unless
obvious.
they get mirror and hammer early, they'll need that to get to East Death Mountain. Can't wait to find out what the Dark World dungeons are, though. If Swamp is required.
Well, I like the quick check up to Hobo. He doesn't have the rupees for Zora, and he doesn't have the Moon Pearl to check Waterfall, so no point in doing that.
Yep, I definitely agree with it.
Yeah, that's something to consider. The Sahasrahla play that early is interesting. DT is all about those sequence breaks right now, it seems.
So I know we did get a map check, but the HUD has not picked it up. So I guess it was a really quick one, but I didn't even see what Crystal was desert.
Crystal Desert, Crystal Eastern, or was it?
Crystal Pendant Eastern.
Okay.
I know Harrow was 7 for sure. That's the one I saw.
All right, let's see if the old man is holding out. And we'll also see if the rest of Hyrule Castle has any sort of value. Wow. Speaking of, wow.
Schwartz is making some great, I guess, chances. He's not really making some strong plays in terms of just picking the right idea. It's just all luck so far. It's going really well for him, though.
It's interesting seeing someone skip the South Shore route, but honestly, I'm not against it because I feel like lately Mini Moldorn Cave just doesn't deliver as much as it used to.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the stats for it, but it does seem to be doing that.
Is that a potion in Spectacle Rock? That's what it looked like to me.
I believe it was a red potion. And he's going to get it for the sick kid.
Mm-hmm.
Or because his health is at 2. I'm not sure which.
These crabs are dangerous.
Although he's definitely saving quitting out of this or fluting, so I guess it doesn't quite matter what his health is right now.
I wonder what the next plan is going to be. Looks like Schwartz is setting up a death warp.
Yep. Bringing himself down to 1 bomb since he has blue mail. He needs to get to that half heart.
So here's the thing, though. It's going to be a small key, regardless. So this is a bad move. Because he already got the dungeon map. That was in the first part.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So he has all the chests but this one, and he's short a key, so it will be the key that's remaining. So this is just a waste of time.
And he's doing this he's doing it in the dark, too, which is going to cost him some more time.
Let's hope he notices he picked up a key instead of checking his menu and getting confused.
Alright, where are you going, DT? Oh, looks like he's making the Hyrule play. Checking Sahasrara at the same, it's kind of one of those last thing you do kind of moments. But I'm also of the thought process of always checking Sahasrara before going up to Death Mountain, because you never know. I don't know. So many times I've get like a hook shot or a hammer from him, and I'm like, yeah, I should have gone here first.
Yeah, it's such an easy place to check. You get a decent chance of items, and a lot of the times I just forget as well. I don't go there really often.
But I can see the reason not to, because a lot of times if players make the trip over there, they're kind of in that mindset that if I'm going to go do that, then I might as well go into Eastern too. And nobody wants to go into Eastern without a bow.
Which is one of the few remaining options. With the items we've seen, it looks like Schwartz has to go either get the bottle for Sick Kid, Agnes Cave, or Eastern. I don't know if there's any other options. I can't remember. I guess technically he could go do Aghanim and find out what's on the ledge. Hoping for a pearl, I would assume.
I missed it, but I would assume that Schwartz actually did find that small key and then saved and quit out. But it looked like he dropped a bomb first. Also, why is he not fluting here?
I guess you just forget you got early flute sometimes.
DT picking up his Master Sword.
Oh, yep, they're both on Master.
It's interesting that we got both the cape and a Master Sword, and no lamp. So it's like, all right, I got some of the reasons to go to Agate Tower.
Oh yeah, I always forget the lamp.
Oh wow, the boots. That's a good one.
So that's straight to Block Rocks. I don't remember what was on Library. I assume it was junk.
Yeah, I believe it was junk.
So I feel like Block Rocks has to have something.
Man, it's so weird.
King's Doom could also be it too.
Yeah. Oh man, Moon Pearl at King's Doom.
He's going right there.
That's so weird that he walked to Agana, didn't flute, and yet he still hasn't done the dam or Mini Moldorn. It's some interesting routing choices.
It's working really well.
It is. Now he's gonna go check those bonk rocks, and if none of those, man, I wonder what the seed is trying to tell us at this point. Where are we supposed to be going? What are we supposed to be doing?
I probably would have played on Eastern already. Just it's got a lot of chest items, so just hope on that would be my guess.
Would you even do the dark room in Eastern?
Oh yeah, I always do the dark room either way, mostly because you're gonna have to do it eventually unless you're in go mode. So, and I'm comfortable with that room, but I'm sure these runners are as well. It's not too difficult of a room. The second one, however, it can be a nightmare.
Well, DT gonna
Fortunately,
be
they
pick-
don't have bow, so they don't have to make that decision.
Yeah, that's true. That one's not that fun. Unless you, if you at least have like a fire rod. I mean, they could like pop in there, use bombos to clear all the little guys. And
I
then
missed it. Is he going up for the old man here?
I would assume so because he just came from Bonk Rocks.
It looks like he already cleared it without a problem at all, so that's nice. It's a good start.
Yeah, it's not too hard to do. All right, DT gonna be getting his Titan mitts and cape. Man,
Nothing
there
out
it
of the
is.
sequence break here.
No, nothing at all. I'm curious. I'm wondering if this is gonna end up being like a Zora seed.
That's true. I forgot about the Zora ledge area to see what's around there. So we're looking at Eastern having an item, or did either of them check Agana? Schwarz did that, right?
Yeah, that had the boots. We still have Sick
Yes.
Kid as an option, because I don't think anyone has checked that yet. Shorts might check it after getting this potion.
So Sick Kid, Eastern, and Zora are the options
Zora,
as
yeah.
far as I can remember.
But which
Hopefully
one's gonna be
DT
it?
gets that boots real soon, because he's gonna need them.
Flute to 6.
There he goes.
There it is.
We're gonna get some knowledge on the desert ledge here. I don't know if Schwarz caught that when he went by.
Oh, it's only 10 arrows. Alright, this is good for DT. Honestly, if I get flute in Kakariko, the first thing I do is flute to desert.
I don't see that being a bad play. I like knowing what's on that ledge, because usually you're one item away from checking it to begin with. So if you get that knowledge early and you get the book, you know where to go.
Exactly. Alright, Sick Kid. What's he gonna have? Imagine if we find the lamp and this ends up being an Agatower seed anyway.
I like what chat pointed out with the Mire. You could be required to go into dark desert area and just mirror into desert from that side.
Oh, I
As a
love
bunny.
I love mirroring into checkerboard Moon Pearl is just it's awesome.
Be a cruel turn. It's not one I would think of at all.
Alright, DT gonna be checking his going with the flute to Kakariko as opposed to saving and quitting.
Yeah, it's definitely a little slower, especially with boots, because it takes about 3 dashes to get here.
Though honestly, I think it's good routing wise since he's not going to go up to Death Mountain, so he can go here and then straight to King's Tomb, as opposed to what Schwarz did, where he went to King's Tomb then went back to Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, that's also true. I'm never too sure about the way I should handle that, so maybe this is a good idea.
Might have evened things out. Schwarz going to be going to the Mini Moldorn Caves, where he will be picking up his shield. All right.
Yeah, our runners are catching up with each other now, so it's probably going to be which one checks Zora or Eastern first.
You know, honestly, I could see DT going for a Houlihan at this point.
Yeah, get some cash to be able to pay for that. That'd be a good play.
And then I could
got a
see...
surprising cash lead on Schwarz right now.
Nice. All right. Going for the Eastern play.
Has he done? So, yeah, he got the gloves. That's right.
All right. Well, the thing is, at this point now, both our players are kind of evening out. DT about to take, well, potentially going to be taking the lead. The only thing he hasn't done. Actually, yeah, no, this is good. I think Schwarz doesn't have anything else he can do after this. I don't think DT checked the Sick Kid, did he? When he was in
Chat says
Kakariko?
he did, and he got a heart piece from it.
Okay.
Kind of want to see someone farm rupees real quick. Make me laugh.
Where's your favorite rupee farm?
Well, I mean, if you have it, trees for sure. But otherwise, I guess just Blind's Basement. I never even remember the desert one, unfortunately. It's a really good one, though.
I think it's like 60 rupees. Or 50, I think.
It's 50, but unfortunately, you have to run a fair amount to get there, because
Yeah.
fluting to either spot is not close.
It's only one screen transition from the dam, so...
Yeah, and Also, every time you go to blinds, you have to do 2 screen transitions, so or at least stairways.
Well, I wonder, what are we gonna find in here? If it's a lamp, then that opens up Aga. That's 2 items. Or is that all 3?
That might have been 3. I saw him get bombs earlier. I think Short's got a rupee off the first chest.
We had single arrow, yeah, in one of them.
Single arrow, okay.
That is a very rare sight to see all items in the beginning. But that's the thing is, it's like all those items were the ones located prior to the dark room. So
yeah, is he going for the rupee farm now? I think that's the only reason to go this way. Yep, there it is. He's realized that Zora is the only option unless he wants to do dark rooms.
Still no Houlihan though.
Yeah, maybe he forgot that it's an option to him since no, you don't really do it.
I don't know if DT actually does the flipless Houlihan though, but with the boots he can do the other 2. That I know of.
If he's really comfortable, he could go for a walk on water, try to find something with that.
Don't you need the moon pearl for that though?
I don't believe you need it for the initial one where you just dash over the hole and jump down. You need it for the fountain one where you...
Oh, to open up chests and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could go straight to, I believe, the ledge, if you did it right.
Oh, Short's gonna
Definitely
keep going? Well, now I'm confused.
Maybe he hasn't, either DT wasn't comfortable or didn't count correctly, or Shorts just didn't count correctly.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not another one of those issues where Schwartz just doesn't count items in a dungeon, because he did do that escape one where he just didn't need to.
Let's find out what Zora has. I mean, we don't have any other options, so this has to be something.
Oh, it's the big key. That might be why. So you have to go all the way around to get the big key to come back to check the main chest.
But if we already got the 3 items, then it's just going to be 2 dungeon items.
Yeah, it's really weird. See, if you knew it was the big key, that kind of makes sense to get it now, anyways. Just what?
You don't have the bow. He's doing it to farm rupees. I get it.
Oh, okay. There's a rupee farm here.
That is a bit of an extensive.
Especially because there's only one room.
Yeah.
I guess he needs the big key anyway, so it's not a big loss to go do that right now.
Well, this is a pendant dungeon, so who knows?
That is true as well. It could also just be a waste on that. There's the moon pearl.
There it is. Wow. What a mean game. Now he's got to go. Now he's got to do the water walking to go check the fairy fountain chest.
I feel like he's going to be a little more concerned about getting into dark world.
Nah, it's not a big deal. Go do it. It'll be funny. Dude, he's doing it.
Ooh, Schwartz is farming from the blinds hut as well.
I mean, he only has to do it twice, so that's not...
Oh, he's changed his mind again. You're already there, just do it. What are you doing?
He still has to do it twice regardless.
Exactly. I think I don't think it cost him that much time. It's just, you can see he might be nervous, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Man, if only these players had Houlihan at the beginning like I always do. Game changer. And double heart pieces. A sweet full refill, but yeah.
Fortunately, it resets itself, so he can still walk quickly. All right, he's already done Zora, so he doesn't need to.
Yeah, so now he's going to head into Village of Outcasts, and we'll get to see at what the crystal dungeons are in the Dark World.
And how comfortable he is with low hearts on blind.
Mm-hmm. And kind of get an idea of what we need for the rest of the seed.
Yep. Pendant T-Rock and Swamp, or Skullwoods, my bad.
Oh, right.
And with good crystals at Ice and Mire.
Green was Skull?
Green was Skull.
All right. Well then.
Wow. So that's why you got the cape, apparently.
Oh, to get red tunic? I guess DT's thinking he needs it, you know?
I don't mind this play at all. I find when I get red mail, I can just walk through whatever I want. Not even any worries.
There's nothing wrong with this. Just, you know, especially with the amount of hearts, and it's just always better to be safer than dead.
Exactly, and some of the enemies and thieves, I believe all of them would have hit for one, so it's not a concern. But when you're going into the later dungeons, that's when it'll matter.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, DT, as far as I know, would be just as comfortable with blue tunic, but it's a good call.
Dying hurts a lot, so you don't want to lose that time.
Yeah. And he does have that red potion as well to hold on to, so.
A lot of safeties so far. Single shield, which just blocked a shot for him, so.
Yo, shouts to shields. And it looks like Shorts is going for the Skullwoods play.
I like this play because you're probably not going to come back even if you get the Fire Rod. However, it has been statistically proven to have more items.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good play to go in here right away. Get it out of the way and never have to come back.
And it's one of those dungeons, it's kind of like the beginning of Thieves Town. You kind of just treat it like overworld for the most part. So you just always route it in with your Dark World, overworld routing.
Exactly, I like to look at it that way.
And especially with Kena Samaria, they'll be able to clear that second room where you have to push the statue on the switch even quicker. Though Schwartz is going to have to pick up some magic if he wants to do that.
Yeah, there's not much magic in this seat so far. It hasn't come out of drops at all. And DT has both canes now, so he has all the safeties he could possibly ask for.
Yeah, that's true. Just needs a better shield. And also 2 items so far in Thieves Town. We're still looking for 2 more. And nobody wants to see an item in that big chest in Thieves Town without a hammer.
Yeah, you really want to hope that once you get that item from the maiden, it is the last item you need, if it is an item, of course. Because you don't want to sit there even going to blind with that concern in your mind, because it's not a comfortable feeling.
I personally would take the chance right now, because he already has 3 of the items.
Yeah, that's a good gamble right here. It's pretty likely that it's good. I believe currently it's a 1 in 3 that it's going to be a dungeon item. Or 2 and 3 that's a dungeon item, 1 and 3 that it matters.
Well, we still have, what, 4 more chests?
Yeah, but...
One's going to be a small key required.
Can't have the big key or small key, so that chest can only have compass, map, or the remaining item.
Ah, I see what you mean. Taking a few hits along the hellway. Not a big deal in that red tunic. Feeling good.
It's hard hellway to get by without getting hit anyway, so... Especially when you get boots, because you just want to go fast.
Alright, let's see what's in the Skullwoods big chest. 50 rupees.
I believe that was 2 money chests in Skullwoods. I'm not too sure if I saw that correctly. Yeah, he's on his way out, so nothing good from there.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't really have any other options at this point anyway. I wonder if he'll go get that red tunic at this point.
He is low, so he definitely could use it to make sure he doesn't die to, say, you know, a pterodactyl. Those hurt.
Yeah, those do a lot of damage.
And now he can be one-shot by them. Yeah, he's going to take it safe here and kill it with a spin first.
Good idea. And going for that red. Yeah, because you never know if you're going to get a seed that's really low on hearts, and this one is...
For him, it's been pretty low, so...
He's only a heart behind from DT.
Yep, but just the 7, I would... Even 7 hearts, for me, I'd feel uncomfortable going towards blind. Although he has capes, so it's not so bad. You can see DT picking up all the hearts, because he doesn't have much magic left for his cape to begin with.
Yeah, and there's no really convenient magic locations, and Schwartz taking a death. I don't know what got him. Was it a pterodactyl, or did he get speared?
Unfortunately, I looked away too.
That's gotta be rough. Nobody dies with red tunic. Just kidding. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost drank his red potion too. That would have been horrible.
I didn't catch the chests required here, or what items that he pulled out already. I believe it's still just the 1 in 2 chance that the big chest will be important.
Solid. It was a very solid fight.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, there he goes. He doesn't have to go
There
back.
it is. Nice. That is always a relief.
Yeah, it's a good gamble when it happens. Otherwise, you're sitting there wondering, and you might not go back ever.
Alright, well, depending on what DT does next, if he goes in for the Skullwoods play, we might see these players even up. But if he decides to go south and make his way to Hype Cave, who knows?
Yeah, with the items they have, they are still pretty limited. No flippers to get to the east side of Dark World. And
Here's a
there's
scary
no
thought.
East Death Mountain either.
Oh, he's going for the Skullwoods.
Are you gonna say Aghanim required for east side?
No, maybe. I mean, it depends. If like Hammer or we need flippers and Hammer to basically be on the right side for that to be a thing.
Yeah, we really would.
But I mean, if these players are comfortable, they could set up the water walk for that. But what I was trying to get at is if we were to find, we got that Bombos medallion, which isn't a fire rod, but it does let you get into Ice Palace.
Oh, so you want to see some flippers.
If we were to get some flippers here pretty soon.
Now that would be an interesting one, because a lot of players don't think about Ice Palace that early to begin with, because they're used to old logic where ice was just garbage. You never go there. But on top of that, going there with just Bombos can be a little bit concerning.
Well, the interesting thing is we know where the hookshot is. So maybe if we were to get flippers and Mire, they could pick up the hookshot, but I guess it depends on if they find the hammer or something. But you never know if this seed is going to be like one of those, go into a dungeon you can't finish to get an item to get the dungeon that you need to go back and finish the other dungeon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of double dipping lately, so I would feel pretty comfortable knowing that there's likely going to be double dips, so just go through what you have available to you now, and if you get stuck doing one, it's unfortunate.
I guess it also depends on how much you're willing to gamble at this point, at this junction of the tournament. Because honestly, for the most part, I feel like anyone that's in the main tournament are pretty close to the same level. Obviously, there are some people that stand on top and some people that are more on the bottom, but you got to be thinking like, oh man, if I'm up against this person, they're probably equal with me in execution, so I might have to make some crazy gambles.
An Aghanim gamble right now would be quite the crazy one.
Lampless, fire rodless Aghanim. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing that.
No, going to Aghanim Tower without a lamp is just asking to waste time, especially because of the addition to blue balls. You're wasting even more time. It's just not worth it.
Now, I can't imagine this being a pedestal seed just because of Pendant T-Rock. If they were to suddenly get Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Hammer, and whatever medallion you need for it, then maybe. But we're still missing a few items to really kind of figure that out. But we know that pedestal can't be Fire Rod. It can't be Ice Rod. It can't be certain medallions. It can't be Hammer, obviously. And it can't be Bow. So what does that leave?
Doesn't leave much.
Nope. Mire, maybe?
I guess so. Well, Mire is in the options.
DT is taking the frog on a tour just for you guys.
Not sure he signed up for this travel. Could you take me home? I'm just up there. Oh no, you're going the wrong way.
It's even better when Shorts does it, because it'll be a frog with a frog follower. Got a frog
At
party.
that point, it's just kidnapping.
Kind of miss the days when I always played as frog. But I gotta say, Garfield's pretty good.
Garfield is pretty good. I've actually gotten comfortable with Garfield. I almost picked him as one of my races.
Dude, do you know hammer jump with Garfield yet?
I don't even know hammer jump is. Well, I know hammer jump, but I can't do it.
I stand correct.
But yes, I do, because I use the shadow for all my movements.
Yeah. Schwartz finishing up blind and getting his last item in there and feeling pretty good.
Hype Cave has silvers, but that's it.
Ugh. Alright, well, let's see. What are our options right now? Well, you can see a Mire check. That's definitely on the table. And with Kana Samaria, I mean, except going in there without a fire source seems kind of like a gamble.
Yeah,
Until you get in there and there's a fire source in there.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you could go there for the 2 chests that are there at the Mire shed, but you're missing out on checkerboard, and there's a 1 in 3 chance that you can actually go in. So it's a kind of a... I don't like that gamble. Well, maybe not a gamble, but that risk of going there 3 times maybe, just to get items.
I would still go there at least to find out what medallion I need.
That's fair. The knowledge is pretty useful.
Especially with T-Rock being a pendant. It's like, well, I only really need 1 medallion, so...
Yeah, Schwartz is going on the frog tour as well.
Oh, nice. DT checking that shovel spot that he just received. Maybe this is the next game, and then the next play. It's not! I was wrong.
Hopes immediately destroyed.
That's usually how it goes.
You might be going for the purple chest right away now. Has he gone into Skullwoods yet?
DT, yeah, both players have gone into Skullwoods.
Alright, so then this has got to be the purple chest check, because I'm not sure what else is even on this side of the map. So, this has to be something, unless I'm missing an item. Or a location.
Oh yeah, just because they can't get to the right side. This could, oh my gosh, this could be like the lamp to go to Agate Tower.
Oh no.
Please.
Don't say that, Will.
Let it be true.
I was hoping for that earlier, so yeah, let's do that. I think Flippers and Mire opens up a fair amount to them. Hammer as well.
Did you see that? DT was avoiding the tall grass.
I always avoid the tall grass.
Did you see that?
That is the hammer.
So we're good.
Aghanim's done. See you later.
We good now. Later, dude.
So we're going for that Mire shed check, but Schwartz is already there, so we'll find out from him what is that. I missed the medallion. It is Bombos, so they can go into Mire already.
Ooh. Now that's something worth thinking about.
Schwartz is not thinking about it at all.
Nope.
He wants to get this dwarf away from him. I think he's still holding it.
So that's the thing. Once you get a fire source, then Mire kind of becomes an option, but people generally don't like to go to Mire without a bow.
DT's going for it.
But DT's... Prove me wrong. These are the kind of big gambles you gotta make sometimes, so let's hope it pays off for him.
Are we going to see some no left side dark room Mire?
Oh my gosh.
That's a huge risk to take.
I mean, well, it depends on where that big key is. But this could be the quickest of Mires.
It really
and
could.
We'd still have to see some dark rooms. Oh, okay. Wow.
He was just opening it.
The jukes. All right, that's cool.
He thought better of his choices and realized he didn't have a light source for that left side. Sometimes you forget you do need the ability to light torches to be able to get 2 chests in Mire.
Clearly not a gambling man quite yet.
I strongly agree with not gambling there.
It's a little too early. At least, like, if he had like a fire rod or something, it'd be a little bit better. Yeah, we're gonna go see what's on the pyramid. Go from there. Maybe get a catfish check as well?
I think I'd check catfish here. You've already done all of Zora, so there's no reason to go back there unless you find a mushroom and have the mirror. So I think getting catfish out of the way right now just makes the most sense for making sure you never have to go back.
Mm-hmm. I guess the question is though, will peg caves be? You know, all of a sudden you have this hammer, and now you have to just make sure you remember all these locations that you'd already been to go recheck stuff.
Yeah, that's very true. All of Kakariko was cleared in both sides of that, so I guess aside from the Bat Cave.
Mm-hmm. And it's worse that Purple Chest was what had the hammer.
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
you have finished that side of the map. Like, Magic Powder is usually late, or is generally just not a thought about item to begin with, so you might not even think to go back to Hammer Pegs until you're stumped again, don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, is Schwartz going to go for the pod play, or is he checking? He is going for the pod play.
See, I don't mind this, because you go at a pod after you're done, and you go straight over, and it's about the same. I mean, you have to do this maze navigation, which is kind of annoying, but aside from that, I don't know, I just feel like pod has more items. I don't ever get any value out of Catfish. I hate running there, so...
I guess it depends on how bow-locked this dungeon's going to be. Because as we learned about how pod handles bow-lock situations, you know, we only really had like the first couple chests and a couple bonks to get some items, so...
Yeah, I would, See, I'm not sure how he wants this to go, because if you hope that it is no small key at the front chest, then you don't have to worry about pod for a while. But if you don't get it, you're going to have to clear half of pod now and half of pod later, so what are you hoping for out of that?
Looks like DT's also making the pod play, because other than Peg Caves, this is the only two options we have left.
Yeah, and the small key was in the chest, so he can continue.
We've been having a lot of these seeds that really just become the very last thing you check for both players. Like in the race I did earlier, like it literally came down to Catfish having something, and that was the last thing you could do. And he opened up like literally like everything from there on out. So
yeah, those can be really tough on a runner too, because you start doubting yourself at every turn that someone else has beat you there. Especially in a 1v1, you're just hoping that the other guy hasn't thought about that already.
Mm-hmm.
It really comes down to which runner is good at not letting things get down to their heads and make them play worse than they should.
Alright, well, let's see what Pod's got to offer. Schwartz will be heading back. I wonder if we'll see some Dark Maze out of him.
Might see a hammer jump.
Frog hammer jump?
No, he doesn't, so he's just move on.
Yo, there's some Houlihan.
Zora. There you go.
Nice. Bugnet.
That's not what he wants to see in his items in here.
So if I recall correctly, all of this section is technically blow-locked?
Lamp locked, I believe, would be a bigger importance.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think it's... Oh, it could be technically blow locked due to the key locking possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fully sure how that works.
Oh, man.
I believe technically he could have gone right and used it towards Helmasaur and wasted a key, so yes, I believe technically this is all blow locked.
Yeah. Well, he can't get to that section without the big key and small key.
You are probably right. I don't remember where the big key is, or the big key door is. I haven't actually thought about that before. I don't know the layout well. But Schwartz really knows the layout of the Dark Maze, because he's barely even holding out his sword and he's going the right direction.
The question is, what are we going to find in here?
Could be nothing. Schwartz is just really hoping it is something, because he made this gamble before Catfish, so he wants this to pay off, whereas DT is sitting here probably going, it's either this or Pegs, so this is probably the play.
Nothing. And that, oh my gosh, and I'm guessing the big key is also locked. So, yeah, this was a bit of a bust. There's nothing else to do in here. So Peg Cave has got to be the answer at this point. What else do we have left? Oh, wait. Spike Cave, dude.
Yes, that is right. They have a lot of immunities and a bottle.
Mhm.
So Spike Cave technically is in the logic right now, since they do have a cane or cape, and they have a bottle. Now, I don't think it would be a lamp, because that doesn't actually unlock anything anymore. It could unlock something... Oh, technically Mire could have stuff, actually.
Yeah. No, a lamp would be a good find.
Yeah, lamp would help a lot. I probably wouldn't be hoping for a lamp right now, because you're already doing a lot of the dark rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably be hoping for flippers so I could get that hook shot, so I could do a lot of the game. Because with that hook shot, they can go, and the mirror, they can go to a lot of different locations that are previously
Yeah.
locked.
No, that's true. And death warping is so hard when you have red mail and
Yes,
a lot of
yes, it
hearts.
is. Did DT skip some of the chests that Schwartz did, or did he just route that a little faster?
I believe he routed it a little bit faster, is what it looked like to me.
So he was in and out of there real quick. It looks like Schwartz is going to finish off the stuff he left at Pyramid and Catfish. And DT's going to Mire. Oh, he's going to.
DT, please. Remember when he
Wanted to
almost went to
double-check the
Mire?
ledge, that's all.
That would have been the play. So yeah, at this point, it's either Mire, Peg Caves, or Spike Cave. That's pretty much all we have left. So let's see which one was the right one. Because especially one thing to consider is boots are required in Mire, so having boots already kind of makes these items a little bit more valuable already.
Yeah, it's very true. Flippers, or sorry, not if. Well, I guess and flippers. Yeah, they need flippers and mirror to get that hook shot.
Mm-hmm. And so, you know, Moon Pearl, Bombos, boots, flute, Titan mitts, so many required items just to get into Mire.
Surprisingly, they have all of them, aside from the ability to, by logic, complete it with a lamp.
Personally, that would send me in there pretty quickly, but I at the same time, it's if you don't have a fire source, you're kind of like, I'd rather be able to complete it if I can, but who knows?
That's probably the only reason why he didn't actually go in, because a lot of people like making that Mire dive really early.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll make sure to ask him.
A lot of weeklies won off of that Mire play.
Schwartz going for the Catfish play. And then I wonder if we'll see him go into Mire yet. Oh, man.
Could have been a quick Mire, but unfortunately he's got a lot of items to find, so he's going to be looking.
Well, this is good, though, because now he'll be able to clear all the other stuff, minus the stuff that's blocked by fire sources, so
yeah,
we could see something in the big chest for once.
Yeah, if Big Key was on the left side, he wouldn't have been able to find it, and therefore he wouldn't be able to check the right side either, which would have meant a really slow route. Let's see. Yeah, he's going back right away. Let's hope he remembers that he can't do any more left side.
Schwartz is going for the spike.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah. Honestly, they're all good choices.
They are all good choices.
There is really no wrong choice.
Especially in V26, where everything could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, DT remembers he can't go any farther on the left side, as he does need a light source.
2 more chests. Let's see which play was right.
Key on this door. That's interesting. Choosing to use a key for a key. That's interesting.
It's usually how that one works.
Yeah.
Gotta move quick.
Source is coming up on that spike chest.
Wow, there's the mirror.
That is huge. Let's hope Schwartz finds something good here to pay off for his troubles, because that's going to be a big difference. Oh, just a heart.
And DT is going to go ahead and complete the dungeon and bank on Vitreous having the second item.
I'm going to try. Let's hope he can do that in the room.
Honestly, it's not that bad.
I've never tried it myself.
That first dark room, you just gotta close your eyes and feel it, or don't. Let's see how he does. I'm sure he's got it.
Got the pot off of it.
Oh, easy.
Oh, that's perfect. Really well done.
Placing it whilst on the left side of it.
Does get hit by the little skeleton there, but
Schwartz
going through the rooms, he's pretty fine.
Well, we're going to see Peg Cave as well. Schwartz going to be feeling real bad once, depending on if this has nothing or not. But who knows? This could give him another item and send him somewhere else.
Can't be too good. Maybe it'll be a book or something and send him into desert.
Oh, and now DT will be able to, after Mire, get into desert and check checkerboard. Oh, that's a good
not
item.
Bad. Especially for Vitreous when it's coming up. That's going to save some time.
Yeah, that's going to help out. But here's the thing. Yeah, well, so I guess you're supposed to go in here, get the mirror, and then take the mirror to go find the lamp somewhere else, obviously, since this is what DT has done is a sequence break. The question is, where could it possibly be?
Yeah, it's very possible that he's going to find something like the flippers, which leads to the hook shot, which leads to another item. Just a long chain that doesn't come back to Mire for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we know he's fond of sequence breaking, he might even consider ice as his next check. And get the 2 crystals for the fairy.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. Oh, nice. Good job clearing those small eyeballs.
Fortunately, no bow. I guess he's not going to use hammer strats, but I guess Master Sword's a little safer, so it's probably a good choice. Although in Red Mail, safe doesn't quite matter anymore.
DT.
Can't
Get a little overconfident there. Calm down. He's not dead yet. There you go. Nice. Yeah, that was good. That was a good fight. And
oh no, Schwartz doesn't have magic.
Oh, that's rough. This is looking really good for DT. Schwartz is gonna
have to find magic somewhere. He might even have to use this potion and buy it from the witch.
Either that, he could shovel up some magic, or go to Kakariko and smack that one tree up here, which is what it looks like he's gonna go do.
Yeah, that's a good play. Easy magic here. It's easy to forget about it, especially with that one logic version that took it away. And this is good by DT, not forgetting checkerboard. It's really hard to remember that.
Imagine if the lamp was right here.
Oh man, that'd be pretty rough. It's not like anyone would mirror out right away though, so.
Skipping out on that heart.
Yeah, going back into the dark world, I'm not sure what his plan is.
He's probably gonna go in the desert at this point.
Oh yeah, with the mirror he could go straight into the desert. So it's
The problem is he'll still need to find a fire source if he wants to complete it, but he'll be able to check the first section.
Yeah, that's good enough for him, I would assume. You get a lot of the knowledge out of the way, and then desert just becomes a once you hit go mode, finish it up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Now the problem is, how long until he checks that peg cave and gets that tempered sword?
Yeah, that'll very, very quickly bring a lot of time saved into Schwartz's life as he kills enemy by enemy with one less swing.
Mm-hmm. And fortunately, since he already has the silvers, like he's probably like, no, I'm good. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, Master Sword and Tempered, they can make a pretty big difference in certain situations. I personally like to think I am not in go mode until I get the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I made the risk on my last race to just go with the Master Sword. Fortunately, I found the Tempered on the way because I've never done a Master Sword Ganon, and I don't really want to try.
It's not fun. It is not fun. I mean, with silvers, it's not as bad, especially, and if you have like the cape as well.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, but it's definitely not preferred.
And these players have both of those, so they would be in a good shape to do it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I had neither, and it wasn't great.
Hopefully, it'd be even better if they found half magic as well.
Was that the last item from here, I believe?
Yep. 300 rupees and a piece of heart, and he already has the big key, so he is done here. He'll be back once he gets that fire source.
And Schwartz is just clearing up, trying to get that mirror. He's going to find the big key here and move on. Hopefully he doesn't get confused by the lack of light sources. Both of these runners are really, really skilled though, so I doubt that's something that's going to trip them up.
Are we going to see the beg cave from DT? I'm sure it's on his mind.
It really looks like it. I'm not sure what else could be this direction for him.
Well, he might go down and check the dig site, but it looks like he's going to do this first. Out. Now the question is, does he go down and check south the dig site, or does he go up and check north of graveyard?
From here, I think I would go for the dig site, because when else are you going to go there? I guess
is
the
true.
same applies for the graveyard, but I don't know.
I mean, you could put off graveyard until, well, except Skull Woods is a pendant, so
Yeah, that's true. There's no real reason to go to either of those places ever again, so either one is on his book here, but which one's the right choice, and are either of them a good choice when you can go to Hera right now?
no, that is true. But then you run that risk of once again needing a fire source to potentially complete a dungeon. So
Yeah, but you also have all of Eastern Death Mountain, or all Eastern Death Mountain and Darkworld Death Mountain actually, because of the Mirror Hammer combo to let him go to the right side.
that is true. Now the question is, now we just need to find the flippers. Then you can get that hook shot, and then you can do a full clear of the Death Mountain stuff.
There we go.
There they are. Good call. DT.
South was right.
South was the correct answer.
So he's got a lot of items now towards that go mode. I actually haven't looked at it. He needs both rods and the bow still. Whatever medallion might be required for T-Rock. And I guess a hook shot. Wow, that's a lot. Never mind.
Well, the nice thing is T-Rock is a pendant, so we might not need any of those things.
Oh, it is. I have read the tracker wrong. I am terrible. But he knows where the hook shot is, and I think he's going straight there.
And we might actually see him. Honestly, if I were him, I'd go right into Ice Palace.
Yeah, a good follow-up. You just mirror, don't even take the portal. That would be a bad idea. Just jump right into the water after you get your hook shot and go straight into ice. And that's what he's doing.
You could do Ice Palace into Fat Fairy, and then go from there. Possibly into Swamp or Death Mountain.
It looks like Schwartz is going straight for Hera, so this could be a break for him. We know it can't have flippers, and he knows he can't even be the hook shot, but it could be one of the items he needs, like a fire rod or a lamp.
And we'll find out, because he's probably, after Hera, he'll go check East Death Mountain and all that stuff, so, or he's going to go do that first.
Wow, not even going there. I guess without the book, you might have to come back here anyways for the Ether Tablet, so...
Yeah, something he should be, would be concerning is if Hookshot Cave ends up having something super valuable.
Yeah, that'll hurt him a bit if he doesn't go get that right away. Which technically he could get with fake flippers. We know both of these runners, and pretty much anyone in the main tournament is comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see what Death Mountain has for us. Honestly, Dark World Death Mountain, in my opinion, tends to have more stuff than Light World Death Mountain. But that just might be recency bias or whatnot. So, we'll see. What are we looking for now? We still need bow. We need fire rod. By the logic, we need lamp, but we don't really need it.
Fire rod, lamp. That's pretty much it, I guess.
So just bow and fire rod, pretty much. Oh, there's the butter sword.
That's
a nice
good.
find.
I'm sure DT will find it as well, though, so it won't be a sword advantage by the time Ganon comes around.
And there's the red boomerang
Unless he
as
gets
well.
a quick go mode before he even gets here.
Ooh, man.
Not
Schwartz
going for
missing
the... No, yeah.
Nah, he missed it. He fell off. I like DT's menu. DT's menu it's like a nice little pyramid, like a flagpole.
I was noticing that earlier.
It's very satisfying to look at.
It's like when you're watching someone play and they get everything from the left side and there's just one column missing.
I had one game where I literally had a checkerboard
Nice.
in my menu, and I was like, don't ever change.
That must be horrible to menu through, though, because you can't exactly get to anything.
It's kind of obnoxious.
So we're going to the second half of ice here, which I find has had good items almost every time I go here, so that could be a good place to be. Otherwise, you're going to feel a little silly.
If it doesn't, I'll yell at you. Futon!
Not my fault, I didn't make the seed.
Well, it's not like it's the equivalent of like Left Side Swamp Palace. That's the worst.
Wow, both dungeon items.
That's brutal.
Well, I'm sorry, DT. That's my fault.
He didn't check the one that's right next to the spikes yet, did he?
I don't believe he did that yet, no.
Alright. Yeah, I'll check it on the way back. Usually you'll check that if you're one away from go mode.
Yeah.
Small key. Alright, well, that was a bit of a bust, but...
Oh no, Schwartz, you didn't pick the hook shot up yet. Don't go there.
Did he bonk across? I think he's
going
gonna do that first.
He picked up the pot by accident on his first attempt.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's see what we got. Anything good?
No, just a waste of time, unfortunately. Really, really bad Death Mountain for Schwartz.
I mean, he got
Aside from
the butter
his gold
sword.
Yeah. And I guess a red boomerang, which, I don't know. I like to use it for the mummies and Skullwoods, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Death Mountain is a good play. So I have nothing against it. It's just unfortunate that it really pay off. And it's a lot of stuff to check.
Oh,
wow. Ice Palace with the bow. All right, we're
everything
one
going
item.
right for DT.
We're one item potentially away from go mode 4 in the name of DT. He is just looking for that fire rod, and then we're good to go. So the question is, I believe it should be a straight trip right into pod, right? After this.
Yeah, you can go straight to pod. Clear that up if you really wanted. You could go. What would be left then? Go to pod. I guess you could go into Hera.
Oh wait, that's a good point. Did Schwartz? He didn't do the fake flipper stuff, did he?
I don't believe he did.
Because I know DT fake flippered, saw Lake Hylia Island, and then checked the hobo. So Schwartz might not know that hookshot is there. Not that it really matters.
No, that's a big difference too, because that hookshot is that's been helping DT a lot throughout routing. And if Hookshot Cave has the fire rod, then he's gonna be able to get that before Schwartz even thinks about coming back.
So yeah, I think at this point, Colster is gonna have the last item, maybe.
I haven't tracked items well, unfortunately.
It's fine. We got the bow and we got ether so far.
Oh yeah, he's got plenty of keys and all the dungeon items, so I think it has to be an item here.
Oh my gosh, 3 keys? That's crazy.
He's been hoarding keys today. He also got ether earlier on, which has absolutely no impact to the race, but maybe he'll use it if he's uncomfortable in some portion of the gauntlet.
Nah. Not DT. He's got the... Nah.
Especially with all the safety items, you might as well just use one of those instead.
Bringing out the cape, just in case. Not gonna... Oh!
He might use it.
Oh gosh, alright, it's fine.
I probably would have used it there anyways, because you're going to get that magic refill, but...
Alright, Schwartz is very close to getting his flippers. Let's see if he makes the right choice.
Looks like he's selected to go to Dark World. So... is he going to gamble on... No, he can't go to gamble on Swamp, that's right. He does need those flippers first.
Looks like that's where he's going. He scared me for a second there. Alright, this is good for Schwartz. He'll be able to get those flippers and then assumably get the hookshot right afterwards.
Where? Oh, he's going around the other way to the flippers, right? I keep forgetting his path is here.
Looks like DT's going for the Swamp Palace play.
He has the ability to full clear, and not having a light has absolutely no impact on it, so it's not a terrible play. It sucks to not go mode it, though.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But who knows? This could be the correct answer. And he seems to be putting these dungeons in front of checking overworld, which at the same time, I think is a good, the whole V26 is all about dungeons thing. Seems to be the norm. Oh, this is bad for Schwartz.
The hook shot right here. Realize what he could have had.
Oh no, he used Bombos by accident.
And he switched to Mire, and oh my god. That's unfortunate.
I've never seen that. Yeah, that's just one of those things where it really helps in the beginning to get that little bit, any bit of information you can get early on, like checking that Lake Hylia Island early, will just help you save a little bit of time here and there.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows that DT probably would have checked that up when he went through, so If I was in Schwartz's shoes right now, I would have assumed that my opponent would be ahead of me, having already known that.
I'm going to assume that both players did some research on each other. So he probably would know that DT normally does do the fake flipper stuff, so...
You could also just have the attitude of doesn't quite matter if you research your opponent, because it's still just a randomizer. It can help you a little bit in certain areas, like maybe G Tower, but I can't see it making a bigger impact than that.
No. Alright, what's Schwartz going to do next? Is he going to go right into the Ice Palace? Get his bow?
Good pick.
Looks like it. I remember back in the day when I never treated Bombos like a use in Ice Palace, like ever. Like, oh, I have Bombos. I'll wait until I get a Fire Rod instead. And now it's kind of like one of those... It's just part of the thing.
I kind of prefer it because it means you can go to Cold Star without full magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't have to worry about accidentally using it up. Not having enough magic or missing a Fire Rod, having a Mire out. Ooh, I like that. I like the early big key in Swamp. I wonder if DT's going to go for the left side checker, if he's just going to go straight for Argus at this point.
Looks like an Argus play here.
Ooh. Getting that map there would kind of send me to the left side, though, because you know that there's going to be stuff over there.
I think I would always do this play, either way, the shoes he's in, because he only needs that one item. If he gets that Fire Rod, he is done. Unless he's not comfortable with... Well, I guess he did the hard Dark Room, so never mind.
He might go back in afterwards if he doesn't get anything, but we'll see.
And the thing with Silver is that you don't even have to worry about being uncomfortable trying to get the Torch Glitch with the Fire Rod, because you have Silvers, you don't really need the Torch Glitch.
Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Fire Rod's not even required.
Oh, it isn't. Well, technically one of them is. They need one of them for Ganon's Tower for the torches. Land or Fire Rod.
Yeah, they need at least the... Okay.
So he's still not in go mode.
Jeez, that took me over an hour to realize.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I learned after you learned. So.
I'm so sorry.
We're great.
All right, so we need a fire source. There. I was close. I was half off. Man, getting that book, though, that's got to be frustrating. That opens up some options that you're just like, I would rather have not gotten these.
Fortunately for DT, he's in Swamp, so when he finishes, he can go straight to Bombos, and he hasn't even gone up Death Mountain yet, so he can go straight to Ether. And so it's
that's true.
Not a big time loss at all for him. If Schwartz got it, on the other hand, he would be like, I have to go back. Well, I guess he didn't even do Harris, so neither player would really be concerned about finding a book here.
That's true. Now, of course, Fire Rod could still be required if Big Key and G Tower ends up being on the right side.
Yes.
Because I doubt... Because rarely anyone is comfortable doing that very, very, very specific bomb jump on the right side.
I would never want to do that.
Nope.
A good Silver shot from DT.
Very good one, yeah.
I could never hit that shot on the first try.
It's almost like he practiced.
Oh, did you practice that?
Maybe. Schwartz was very intent on hitting that button just to spawn the chest just to run away from it.
Yeah, I believe when he comes back, he has to hit it again.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Actually doesn't
I do that too. For some reason, I always pick up that pot, toss it at one of the jellies, and then I still press the switch on my way upstairs. I don't know why. It's not even like muscle memory or anything, because...
Yeah, you've been playing a while. You understand that that's not going to help you at all. For me, it was a thing I used to do, whereas I would trigger it, get the chest, and then continue forward. It's just like, that's...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was just bad. You're just foolish.
No, I'm still bad.
So DT go on left side now because he wants to make sure nothing in Swamp has been skipped.
And
Schwartz is coming up on the bow soon.
Yeah, there's at least one item in here on the left side. One of them is going to be a compass. The other one is going to be something valuable, hopefully, or maybe something terrible. Now the question is, what is Schwartz going to do after getting his bow? Is he going to make the same play as DT, or is he going to go for the pod play?
Now, I don't remember what we got in pod. I don't know if there was an item left for Helmasaur.
That is true. I don't know. It's really hard. If you're doing all the sequence breaks, it's really hard to keep track of how many... Unless you're actually good at and like actually keeping track of how many items you've picked up in a dungeon. Oh yeah, Schwartz had to be careful there. If he accidentally missed the second one, he'd have to mirror out to go do that again.
Yeah, or he could have lapped all the way back around to drop down the hole, but I feel like at that point it doesn't save time.
Does it reset if you drop down that hole and go back up?
Well, he could have just bopped the top if he went all the way back to the top.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's
I
quite
see
a
what you
way
mean.
around, so he's gonna drop down with the bomb bus equipped and get himself a really easy kill because he still has the gold sword over DT's tempered sword.
Oh, that is true. The big chest is still an option, as well as the bowlock side in pod.
Oh, that's true. And neither of them got to do that, so there has to be at least an item, I would assume, in there. Ooh, Short's gonna get really hard early, so he has to use his cape.
Yeah, fortunately for Schwartz, having the gold sword makes pretty quick work of our little buddy Cold Stare. Oh, and he had the last item. Okay, nice. DT going for Bombo's tablet. Man, all that work just for a piece of heart. I'd be frustrated.
I kind of want to see Schwartz not go to swamp right away because it's such a long dungeon. I don't think it's worth the effort. You want to save that for go mode if you can.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad because, like, for the most part, we've just been watching DT because Schwartz has been kind of like following in his footsteps every time, so we already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shadowing going on. Different times he's passed him and done stuff, but it never paid off, unfortunately. So Schwartz has just been tracking behind him.
This might pay off. He's gonna go check that hookshot cave.
The squirrel's giving him a little trouble, made him fall by accident.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, hookshotting that next path, see the squirrel blocks you every time. It's kind of annoying.
I've had that happen to me, except I'm walking up to go up the stairwell or the ladder on the left side, and a boulder will hit me, and then I'll still be holding the direction I was, and I'll walk off and land right in the front, right at the entrance. I'm like, please, game, why?
So we're doing a big bomb here from DT. I completely forgot that was an option for him.
Yeah, it was an option once he finished Ice Palace, so...
It's a good routing choice to do bombos into that. Get it all done. You don't have to come back to that section of the map again. Oh, and Swarsh messing up the little hookshot trick there as well. DT's using the hookshot glitch where if you use the hookshot and dash right away, you can dash with the big bomb. Normally you wouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the purple chest. Oof, a lot of nothing. All right.
Like Schwartz is going the right way.
This is good for Schwartz if Hookshot Cave ends up being the answer.
I think at this point they're both hoping it's not a pen dungeon. Because who knows what the other person has done into those so far. Oh, well, there's a good one.
Oh, wow. There it is.
So that is the go mode item.
Potential go mode.
That's
now,
true. Torch side, or lamp side of GT for the fire rod.
Worst / best case scenario, G Tower is blocked by the fire rod. And the fire rod is in lamp locked Mire.
It is confirmed not a pedestal seed.
Confirmed. Sorry guys, not this time. But yeah, at this point, you just gotta treat it like go mode, because...
Yep. It's only 4 chests behind that, and even the cell, you could probably... I don't know how many people would know the bomb jump, but if they do...
Well, this is going to be good for Schwartz. He'll be able to catch up a little bit with DT. Well, not that much, just because Pod's already pretty much done. But Schwartz will be able to skip checking the big chest, assuming DT's going to check that. I still need to see...
any of the dark rooms.
Yeah, I need to be reminded of how many items are left in this dungeon.
Yeah, me too. And the turtle dark rooms are really kind of annoying without a fire rod to help you, so it'll be interesting, because DT's definitely going to lose some time in that room just because it's a hard room to do in the dark. So hopefully it doesn't give him too much trouble, because otherwise he might have to come back. I mean, with red mail, you're probably comfortable. He's going straight to the end.
That's a good... It's a 50-50 at this point.
Yeah, definitely is, and there's a lot of other dungeons to check too, so...
I would go for it. And that's
I don't
not
like
because
to leave
I know.
them, so I wouldn't, but...
And who knows, if Helmstar ends up having the map, he might go back in and do a hammer jump to go check that big chest. So we'll see.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing for DT is if he finds the fire rod or something similar, I don't know, I guess just the fire rod, somewhere around here, he might not ever get that gold sword because it is in Light World Death Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good
while
point.
that doesn't make a big difference, it could help Shorts catch up even more. And the big thing here is Shorts could go mode this dungeon. I'm pretty sure he will. So that'll make a big difference as well.
He's going to be able to catch up a little bit. Now the thing is, after Pod is done, what are the options left for DT at this point for checking stuff?
I'd probably go to Hera.
I feel like Death Mountain would be his next stop, and since he already finished Mire, he's been ahead this whole time just because he's already got Mire done. All Shorts will have to go back.
Yeah, I'd like to go into Hera if I would. Well, I'd finish Desert for. Oh, you need the light. That's right. I keep forgetting that. So then, maybe I would go East Death Mountain first then, so that you can save Hera. I know a lot of people like to save one of the crystal dungeons on the mountain for the last crystal, so you can do it and go straight into Ganon's Tower.
Mm-hmm. Man, that Chodo room gave DT a little bit of trouble.
Not too much.
If only he had a B.
Do they help in that room?
Yeah. They'll find you the dudes.
Oh yeah, that's true. Never actually tried bees in a lot of situations, so...
They're kind of silly. Alright, let's see how his Helmstar... His Helmstar's looking pretty good. I'm not worried. And we'll be able to see Schwartz's Argus with Butter Sword.
So that'll put DT to 5 crystals. Schwartz is picking up his 3rd now, but he does have the go mode to make him go through a lot faster.
I mean, I guess the nice thing is having Titan Mitts and Mire, with Hookshot being such a late item that they got, or at least, like right now for DT, he's just got Death Mountain. Like, there's nothing else really to do as far as I could. As far as he's going back in.
He's going back.
Oh, this is bad.
I don't mind this play. Now, another thing that DT has going for him, that Schwartz hasn't done Vitreous yet, so he still has to go to Mire and do that as well. But with the lamp, it means he can combo it into Desert and just finish that up real quick.
And he'll be able to do the dark rooms a little bit quicker. Save a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Hammer jump. Hammer jump. Oh yeah.
That's what you've been waiting for.
That's all I want.
Fortunately.
I don't ask for... Why is he doing that? He doesn't need to
He doesn't
do
need a
that. It's the muscle memory.
Not gonna lie, I've seen you do that too. It's hard to remember what you don't have to do when you're doing something like that.
He got his bomb bags.
Movements.
Yeah.
So this is where Schwartz is going to be picking up second by second as he goes through. He's going to be clearing 2 dungeons that we've basically fully seen. No items to be gained here, but he's going to do them real quick, get his crystals, and probably pass DT in the crystal count real quickly.
And the other thing is, more often than not, DT will probably do all of the Light World stuff before doing the Dark World stuff. Or maybe not. He might do... Actually, no. He might do the T-Rock teleport and start with the Dark World stuff. And that would put Hookshot Cave first. So, we'll see, though.
I really hope he does, because it looks like Schwartz is pulling ahead already. Just based on where he is right now, with double dungeons in a row, he'll have a crystal up on him.
Mm-hmm.
Unless DT goes into Hera, and Hera does not require a light source. Then he'll be a little bit more okay.
Oh yeah, because then Schwartz would have to make another trip back up. A perfect scenario, though, would be getting the lamp, and then, yeah, being able to save Hera for last. Because then you could just go back into your portal. Now, I honestly, I would prefer, for DT's sake, if this was lamp locked.
I think Schwartz has more trouble in that room than DT had in the dark.
But it's not.
Just goes to show how good dark rooms can be for you. If DT could complete that room faster than a light room could.
Well, this isn't bad for DT because he won't find a fire source, so he won't be forced to check the basement. And this dungeon has to be done regardless. And the difference between go mode Hera and regular non-go mode Hera isn't really that.
Those beetles were a little struggle for him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he could find the fire rod in here still, right?
That is true.
So DT wants to see a fire rod somewhere he checks that Schwartz has him.
Because a lamp wouldn't... A fire rod would be a lot more valuable to him than a lamp, since he's already done all the dark rooms.
Yeah. It might have a trouble with the torch glitch, but I mean, silver's potentially gold sword, not gonna matter at all.
Yeah.
Schwartz picking up his 4th crystal. Oh, that's true. Schwartz hasn't done pod yet, so he isn't actually as far ahead as I thought he was. So DT still has a lot of time to get there.
And right now he's on track to go get that lamp, and then he'll probably go right back into. Well, all he'll have to do is go to desert. So.
Yep. So he's actually in a pretty good spot.
So it all depends on how he routes Death Mountain at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, I guess that tile room will never matter to him since the light source is go mode. So while there's an item there, it's not an important one. The best it could be is a shield, and why would you care? Maybe the powder.
This is a scary thought, though. Going into G Tower when you're not able to actually get every single chest in G Tower is a little scary. But who knows? Fire Rod could easily be in G Tower.
Yeah. It's a gamble I would always make just because
of course
it could win you or lose you the game, just not making that choice, so.
Oh no, DT. Okay, looks like he's gonna be
go through the whole spiral to the downstairs.
Shebang, yeah.
From there. The good thing here is though is he's probably gonna check the dark world before the light world. After Spiral Cave, I think, unless he's planning on going back up Light World and using Turtle Rock. I really don't think he should do that, though.
I think one of the routes you could do is you do Spiral, go into the Dark World, and then you walk up to the 2 cave entrances, Mire, and then check the Light World stuff, drop back down, then go back into the Dark World, and then go through.
That's true. I like to do the Dark World and then Mire and do the Light World as my finisher. That way I don't have to go through any more Mire transitions there.
Well, I just feel like Dark World generally has more value.
That too.
Than the Light World stuff. See.
It's weird. I find that weird.
Yeah, Schwartz is more than likely going to be... it's going to be close. It's going to be very close, especially because he's definitely not going to check that Palace of Darkness big chest.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to do that. It's all go mode from here. It's all light rooms for him as well. A great Lambola fight, too, to put him up a little bit faster.
Yeah, see if you can do that again at Lambola, too.
He's not going to be worried about Moldor with that gold sword either, so I think all the boss fights for him are going to be free from now on, so it's really just about can he beat them faster than DT finds the lamp. And fortunately, DT does get the gold sword.
Yeah, so both players now on the same level as for power, attack power. So there's no advantage.
Oh, both of them fell on that bomb. Oh, I guess he's going around this way.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go up there.
Yeah, so it was more of a muscle memory. He realized last second he doesn't need to do that. So I guess this does make sense as a good routing decision. I never really thought about jumping out there. I thought he would go up to the top and then jump down, which just doesn't.
I was kind of expecting him to do the Death Mount, go to T-Rock, go through the teleporter, Hookshot Cave.
Well, but technically, he doesn't know what T-Rock is.
Well, I mean, I'm saying go through the portal on T-Rock to get into the
right. You don't need the medallion for the portal. I'm silly.
But, no, this will be fine.
So he's very close to his lamp now. He'll know it's go mode, go straight to desert and finish the game. Schwartz having the advantage of going into Dark World, getting to Hera, and mirroring afterwards to be right into Ganon's towers. I have the feeling that Schwartz is going to be a little bit ahead going in, but it's hard to say. Well, especially with just Lambola left.
It's kind of hard to tell. I feel like DT's going to be might pull ahead a little bit, but we'll see. Or stay in the lead, just because 2 crystals to 1 at this point.
Yeah.
But Schwartz is not going to be that far behind.
No, not at all. I think Schwartz is going to be at least in Hera when DT goes into Ganon's tower.
But man, look at this time. 120, like 125.
It's a long seed with considering what they got, but it's not going to actually be that long if you consider average times of seeds on this logic. It just goes to show when these runners really play well, it doesn't quite matter where items are, they can still pull it off at a reasonably fast time.
And for the most part, this seed didn't really force any sort of crazy double dips or anything of the sort. The only double dip would have been the Mire one, but DT didn't even do it. He just said, nope, I'm good. I can dark room it, whatevs.
There were a few double dips just because of routing choices, but that's
right.
That's not really the seed's logic forcing him to do that.
Oh, man,
that right side GT could be a huge change, though.
Because then where do you go? Where do you go next? If you full clear G tower except for the right side and don't find a big key, where do you go? What do you do?
I'm glad I've never been in that situation. And I feel a lot of people I see when they get that in like a regular one, they just forfeit on the spot. But these runners aren't going to do that for sure. They will not forfeit on that type of thing when the other runner hasn't finished yet. So it's going to be, where do you go? Like you probably haven't ever planned for that type of thing. So you're probably going to be sitting there like, oh god, what's left? Another smooth Landmola, and Shore's a little bit behind him on his kill here with Helma, so he's going to be down 2 crystals for a brief moment.
Yeah, and since Short tested, we'll probably go up and set up the quick trip right back into G Tower. He'll definitely be going to the Dark World first, so we might. DT's going to get to the Death Mountain first. But these guys are going to be like neck and neck minus a Hera crystal, so...
Yeah, DT's going to be in Ganon's tower before Schwartz even gets into Hera.
Wow.
Maybe depending on how that animation goes. I'm not sure how long it takes.
And depending on Dead Rocks.
Depending on Dead Rocks, which he had pretty good luck for now. We'll see about the next one. So you can get that one in front of the hole here that can sometimes... Well, I guess he can go straight to the Dark World too, so he's fine. So yeah, at this point, Schwartz is just really hoping for a Fire Rod required GT or he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, a little bit. Alright guys, it's that point. What do you think that big key is going to be? How many of you guys want it to be on the right side? Because you hate both of our runners.
Yeah, if you want a number that's on the right side, list your number and say right side, just so that we know.
Here's the thing. If it's on the right side, then that means you guys have to listen to more of us. And I'm sure most of you don't want to listen to more of us. So let's get some low numbers.
Let's get a good old 1.
Let's get a good old 1.
A little sick. I want to be out of here. Rain check.
Gotta drink some tea with some honey.
I should. I haven't really been a tea drinker though. Oh, Schwartz again failing the hookshot trick. It can be a little tricky, unfortunately. Even if you know how to do it really well, sometimes you can just mess it up.
A lot of times I'd just elect to just switch to Mire and just avoid that entirely. Especially because he's going to need the Mire anyway.
That's true. He is mirroring to go into Hera, so there's no reason not to be using it right now.
Alright, where's it going to be? Wow, I did not realize how far DT is at this point.
Yeah, this is wild. I really thought it was going to be a lot. I even said Schwartz might have been ahead of him. So this
yeah, I was kind of wondering what you were going on there. I was like,
I did forget about Helmostar to begin with, but this is
a
big surprise on the difference.
It's okay, you're new to commentary. I forgive you.
I am. Everything's so confusing.
It's really hard. A lot of stuff going on at once.
Bob's alive.
I would love it. Towel room would be the funniest situation in this one.
Yeah, you'd get there worried. Just really worried that it's going to be a Fire Rod seed, and there it is in the tile room.
It'd be the first time you'd actually be like, I love you, tile room. Thank you so much.
It is getting a little late on the key here. The main chest already out of the way.
Well, I guess the nice thing about having a limited option in this seed is that...
Wow.
Oh, okay,
Never
there
mind.
it is.
So that's just a definite lead by DT. There is no worry left for him, aside from not being sure where his opponent is right now.
What if he goes? What if he goes tile room first? And it's in tile room though.
That is true. If Schwartz goes tile room and it's tile room, you can pick it back up.
I would drop from the tourney if that happened.
Hold
to
you to it. Now, does Schwartz have to win for you to drop for the tourney off of a tile room, or does it just have to?
Oh no, I was talking about if this happened to me. Not.
Oh, if
not
it happened to you, that makes a way more sense.
Yeah.
Really, that's quite the risk you're putting.
Guys, you don't want me to drop out because that means I have to do more commentary, and that means you have to listen to more of this.
You can't have Willard have more time on his hands.
Mm-mm.
No, you got all the medallions. That
Well,
means
now-
absolutely nothing.
Here's the thing that I'm thinking about. It's like, I just got another item that just unlocks more spots. Suddenly, the big key being right side seems like a valuable choice. Like, you're still kind of running the logic in your head whilst in G-Tower.
Yeah, you're just like,
Which-
well, now where's the big key? I could.
It's like, can I just get G-Tower over with? Like, I don't want to have to think anymore. I just want to get my big key and go.
Maybe Bob will have some powder just for that last bit of assurance he needs to know that he's got this.
Oh, that'd be nice.
There's really nothing left for him to find here that matters to him at all. Got red mail, gold sword, silvers.
Some hugs from Bob. All right, looks like
Hugs from
Schwartz is going for the left side, so that is good. That's good for DT at this point.
Maybe we'll see Schwartz immediately be her off of fighting the fire rod.
God,
Some
that would
wild
be a crazy risk.
That would be.
I
Hey,
would
maybe he's feeling
forfeit from the
behind
tourney
right
if
now.
I saw that.
Hey, there it is,
Hey,
powder.
hey.
He's done. He's got all the everything that matters. He's so
Now,
unbelievable. Is it
do
tile
you,
room?
do you go for tile room or no?
I would not go for tile room.
I would
Fire
not
rod in
either.
Here.
Just get that fire rod and go.
I would laugh though, because then I have to argue Willard into forfeiting from the tournament.
That was never an option.
It's how I understood it, therefore it's true.
It's fine. You know, you're sick. Sick people are crazy.
You're right.
It sounds weird to say that.
Oh, that's an unfortunate bog. Hopefully he has enough time still. Ooh, that was close.
Oh my gosh. It's stressing me out.
Oh, he had a lot more time than I thought he did though.
Yeah, imagine if like Fire Rod was in tile room or something. Oh wow. Schwartz got his Fire Rod and bailed.
Wow. He must feel like he's behind if he wants to do that.
It's
Or
in
he's
tile
just-
room!
It's tile room. Oh my god.
No way!
If Schwartz checks tile room right here,
He's not.
he's not. That
It
would've
was
been
in
incredible.
tile
He would have
room
been
the
in the
whole time.
lead right
Oh
there.
my
if he did that.
god! I gotta forfeit now. I gotta drop
I can't
out.
believe though if Schwartz stayed for that tile room, he actually would have been the lead. What is DT doing? Oh, he's getting magic first. That makes a little
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. No, that's smart. God, that is insane. So that whole Fire Rod thing was just a red herring.
It was. There was absolutely no reason for it.
Oh my gosh.
This has
Welcome,
been a really
welcome to
wild scene.
V26. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
This is incredible.
But Schwartz is gonna find this and he's gonna be thinking, oh man,
Oh no, he might.
he might go all the way to Ice Armos at this point. 'cause
Yeah,
it would
I
make
think he
sense.
will. Yeah, he's going for it.
Yeah. So nobody
That's
does tile.
unfortunate.
Tile room is always last. That's just how it goes.
Exactly. Unless it's Randomizer, tile room is last.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or I guess if you're playing like a glitched mode, but who really does that?
So they could have gotten that right away and just skipped so much in G Tower. But who's gonna make that gamble?
Yeah, that's such a. You have to believe you're behind if you're going to make a tile room gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Especially without a fire rod, like there's no backup. What if it fails? You have to go all the way back to the other side again?
Right.
It's so uncomfortable. Ooh, Schwartz is having a little bit of a trouble with that room.
Oh, he's going with this play. Usually you just hookshot the guy. and then
Yeah,
block
I'm surprised he hasn't. I've seen Chris just throw canes at him.
Oh yeah, that is a good one because you usually have Kane at that moment.
Yep.
Oh well, maybe
Just
not.
throw it right out.
I don't know. It might be just one of those things. I wonder how many times Schwartz have actually routed that way. Oh, and a fall right there is
He
gonna cost him
looks a
bit of
little
time.
nervous. I think by that fire rod play kind of showed a bit. So he's I think he might be in a panic mode right now, believing he's behind.
Well, that's even worse. You know, you make the big play like, oh man, I just got the fire rod. The logic is telling me to go check right side, and then it's not there.
Yeah, you got that. Your stomach just leaves you. Just the fear.
And then it ends up being tile room, and you're like, come on, I could have just
Yeah.
gone that right off the bat.
The worst part is when he watches the VOD and finds out he actually would have been in the lead if he did tile room right there.
Mm-hmm.
No one would have though, so it's not really hard to blame him. Or it is hard to blame him.
See, I personally minimize IRC once I get into G Tower.
Exactly. I want to do
'Cause-
that. I haven't been doing it, and it's been bugging me every time I go in and I see an annoying spoiler.
Because I don't. Well, I may. Well, yeah, in general, but also in the tourney, I'm like, I just want to finish it and be done.
Yeah, like when I lost my recent race, and when I lost, I saw my opponent finish, and it did take away from my play for a bit. So it doesn't matter too much, but that little difference in time does help your seeding. So
DT's feeling pretty good right now. Maybe
yeah.
I saw him do a little dance. Oh, where is Schwartz going? Did he skip chess in the rando room?
I don't know. He might not think it's tile room and might have thought he
Oh
forgot
wait,
it
he
yet.
never went to rando room because it was right in this spot right here. So there's still
Oh yeah.
5 more chests he still has to check.
That is just really unfortunate. Just
Yeah.
getting the worst of luck in GT here.
DT getting bullied by these guards.
Fortunately for him, he could get bullied by everything in here and still probably hold his lead.
Yeah.
He's got to hope, Schwartz has got to hope DT falls to Ganon. It's not a big time loss, but it could make the difference.
I don't know, with butter and silvers.
He'd have to fall in like phase 4, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and with nothing else really to gain from opening chests, he can just blaze on through these last few rooms.
Got his 2 keys. He has literally every item that could possibly help with Ganon's tower.
I'm gonna feel bad for Shorts in about 4 chests. Hey, Quake.
There's that double swing at the chest too. He realizes it. That's really unfortunate.
But gambling on tile room is just...
No, you don't make that
It's
gamble.
a rare thing.
Gamble on the fire rod made sense because I'm sure by the way he had been playing previously, he felt like he was behind because he made a few gambles prior to that. So I'm not too surprised he made the fire rod choice there, but it really sucks that it didn't pay off for him.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling at all.
Hopefully he'll remember to go pick up that magic too before heading up the gauntlet, because going up the gauntlet without magic is kind of eh.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that as a strat, but it does make a lot of sense making sure you're fully prepared.
Mm-hmm. DT having a bit of a struggle with Ega too.
Yeah, that's quite the struggle.
He's got one. Hit him once. Twice. 3 times. We're getting there, guys.
He's halfway there, but 4 cycles hit.
Dude, he is so nervous right now.
Fortunately, that wasn't a blue ball, or that would have probably cost him another cycle. He's going into Ganon as Schwartz is starting his upper half of GT.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well. Here's Ganon.
With all the tools in the world, this should be a quick fight. Easy hits required for that, so he's already into phase 3 here. Sorch
Yeah.
taking the drop down and dash through strat for that room.
Man, that red mail really came into play for this fight. It's taking like 3 fire bats to the face.
Do the fire bats have a different damage for male? I wasn't aware of that. I've actually never tested it myself.
I believe so.
I
but
assumed it was 2 damage per, but I actually have no idea.
I know with green mail they do 4 damage.
Oh, then yeah, I guess it does make a difference. I wasn't sure about that. Man, I'm glad I never took one with green mail then. Well, I guess I
Oh
have.
my gosh, he got the triple, but then missed the torch glitch. Good thing you found that fire rod.
Yep. Good thing you got that. And then take the last shot here to finish the map or match.
Wow. What a wacky seed.
Yeah.
This is such a wacky seed. And that fire rod and G tower is just hilarious. Well, there you have it, guys. Congratulations to our winner of this match in the name of DT.
It's really unfortunate for Swords too, because he made a lot of good gambles, in my opinion, to start the match, going into different locations that could have had that item, and just
Oh, what,
they
like
never,
the
like
hospital play and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or
all of those plays that had high density items, and none of them paid off for him at all.
I don't know what was. I'm trying to think of like early game what slowed him down.
He chose
I
Pod over Catfish. I don't think that slowed him down, but
I guess the Death Mountain check and and definitely missing hookshot on Lake Hylia
Yeah.
for a while.
the not fake flippers made a huge difference in his time. He got to go mode a little faster than DT did, but it was not as fast as it really could have been.
Right,
It made him do a
we'll
lot of unoptimal things, unfortunately.
We'll let DT cool off for a second, and then we'll bring him in here when he shows up. And Schwartz just making his way through Torch Room. So, very good times for both these players. Eventually good time from Schwartz as well.
Yeah, he's still going to get probably a sub 147 or so, which is still a really good time for a seed like this.
Alright, we're going to bring DT in. Yo, DT. GG, bud.
Hey, thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm honestly really surprised.
It
Schwartz
was
Schwartz is fantastic. I was not expecting this.
It was honestly, I don't. I feel like you had the lead for pretty much a good chunk of the race. We'll wait until Schwartz gets in here to kind of dissect it and see at what major points. But let's talk about the G Tower routing was the most crazy. Like, come on, how you feeling right now about that?
I was more worried about needing to go right side and not finding the fire rod.
Yeah, we were definitely talking about what could possibly go through your head when you get there, and you just don't get a fire rod, and you're stuck trying to pick where to go after GT to try to find it.
That was the biggest thing I was worried about. Honestly, the first thing I would have done was finish off Hookshot Cave and then go into Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Hookshot Cave was the answer, so that worked out. And I'm sure you would have rather gotten a fire rod than a lamp, because
that would have been ideal.
You had already done all the dark rooms, so you didn't really need that lamp anymore.
No, I didn't really care about that. I'm sure you noticed I thought about going into Mire much earlier than I did.
Yeah, we were kind of anticipating it.
We believed the change was when you realized you didn't have a light source for it and couldn't have done as many chests.
It wasn't... that actually crossed my mind after I finally went in there. But then I wound up realizing that after I found the flippers and getting the hookshot and then the bow from Ice Palace, that I didn't need a fire source for anything else, because I was only missing a fire source. So I didn't have to worry about going back into Mire for only one item.
Yeah, that's very true. Schwartz getting a really good Aga too there, so it doesn't take him long.
Yeah, a lot better than yours.
That was I felt like I was watching myself for a bit there.
I love you, DT. Had to, sorry. Man, the G Tower is just hilarious. That was the perfect G Tower for this race. Did you at all thought for 1 second after you got the fire rod to mirror out and go straight to right side?
I actually considered it, especially after clearing Ice Armos and not finding the big key there. I was thinking, I should have listened to myself and just done it. But I mean, it still would have wound up the same. I would have mirrored out after Rando Room. I would have tried the VTorp route, I think, and I still would have wound up going all the way through right side to Ice Armos, either which way. So Tile Room is always last.
Tile Room is always last. That's just how it is. Yeah. We unfortunately for Schwartz, he did get the fire rod and immediately mirror out. So he ended up doing right side all the way to Ice Armos, and then going back and doing the rest of the left side before doing Tile Room, because Tile Room is always last. But it's
yeah, that would have made this a lot closer.
Yeah, he was actually in. You guys were on Death Mountain at the same time, but Schwartz still had to go up and do Hera. That was his last dungeon. So
there's some fanfare for Schwartz, and he's going to be walking into the final room here, finishing up his seed.
And there you have it.
And the difference of times are 5 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to remember how much of a lead you had going into G Tower, and then how much was added to it based on Schwartz's unfortunately unfortunate routing in G Tower.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a bad plan. He really tried to make a break to catch up, but it just didn't work out at all for him. Yeah, you went into GT before you even got into Hera, I believe. That was we were really surprised, because when we were trying to map out where you guys would be going into GT there, we really thought Schwartz would be a lot closer. It's kind of surprising to see that.
I fully expected to see a dot done well before mine, and at least when I entered Ganon's Tower and didn't see it yet, I thought, okay, well, you know what? This is at least going to be a really, really close race.
The thing is, like, the beginning kind of came down to Zora. It was both your guys' last check.
Oh my god.
Last possible item. And it's like, boom, Moon Pearl, what do you do next? And you're routing from, what was it? After you got the hammer from, it was hammer at Purple Chest, right?
Yes.
Then, what did you do right after that?
Good question.
I don't remember. But anyway, you routed it well.
To Pyramid?
That might have been it.
Also, one of the bigger things that really stood out was I don't think Schwartz saw Hookshot on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, he never did the fake flippers, so we're pretty sure he didn't. So he never actually knew that Hookshot was there for a while, so he didn't get to route it in early and grab the Hookshot. And
that might have actually played into the reasoning why he went up to Death Mountain first, after he got the Mire in Mire.
Sure. Yeah, because when I found the flippers in Circle of Bushes, I was actually planning to head north at that point and check the Graveyard Cave until I found the flippers, and at that point, nope, let's go get the Hookshot, and then let's just get Ice Palace done. Let's get our crystals done.
Yeah, that was the right play, finding that bow. Yeah, we were kind of wondering after you did Purple Chest or after you went back to check Peg Cave, it's like, all right, is he going to go north up to North of Graveyard, or is he going to go south and check south, the Circle of Bushes? And you won the 50-50. Actually, both you guys kind of did on that decision. So, but yeah, overall, how'd you feel about the seed in general? I mean, a 141 is not bad.
No, especially for V26, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, especially after that race you had earlier today.
Oh my god.
Which is like the worst possible. Like, this one didn't have any technically forced double dips, because you kind of skipped out on the Mire double dip and just went ahead and did it, which also actually gave you a fair bit of advantage at the time.
I technically did a pod triple dip, even though that would have easily been doable only going in once if I just routed a little differently, but oh well. Oh
yeah, to go back in and check the big chest.
Yeah.
But we were wondering if you were going to skip out on that and just, after you did the right side, if it's like, is he just going to go for Helma?
Knowing that there was an item there and I needed a fire source, it could have only been the fire rod, and it was worth the check at least.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
All in all, I thought it was actually a pretty good seed. Pretty straightforward. Really annoying in the beginning, though, because, like you said, the Zora being the last option. And I had to farm rupees. Did Schwartz have to farm rupees?
Yes.
Not as many, because he did Houlihan. But
Okay.
He did only... He actually was a little back and forth on where he wanted to farm, but he did only need to do 2 entries into his cave to get the 500.
Yeah,
He went to
Go ahead.
Kakariko first, and then bailed when he was like, "Wait, that's a silly idea." So then he went to the desert one, and it still ended up being a double dip to get what he needed. So
because that's one of the absolute worst feelings. Because at that point, I'm doubting myself. I'm thinking, what other silly dumb spot did I miss? That this is what I have to do. Because it actually happened once in the last tournament too. I had to farm rupees just to go to Zora. I think also to get the Moon Pearl. Oddly
yeah,
enough.
you should probably learn that Houlihan straight.
Yeah, Houlihan's looking pretty appealing right now.
See, it's not dead, guys.
Yeah, Houlihan is it's a really good safe play. You don't lose races off of it. You can save races with it. That's about it.
To be fair, this is like the first time in the last 1,000 seeds that Sora's actually had something.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's when it burnt me last as well. So it's like,
Or
it doesn't really play into effect, but when it gets you, it gets you.
or at least Zora had the next progression item, and there was nothing else you could do until you did that. Because, there'd be times where like Zora would have something, but you could come back later when you had like 1,000 rupees and it's fine. But this one was like very streamlined. It became very linear.
Yeah, it did after a while. Which is kind of nice. You either get the kind of linear bottleneck seeds with this logic, or you get the purely scattered ones.
Yeah, where all of a sudden you open up the entire world and you're like, all right, where do I go next? Like, once you guys, like, having Titan Mitts, I don't know, having Titan Mitts that early was kind of nice, because once you got the Moon Pearl, you could kind of do a lot of the overworld stuff all in one chunk, minus the Mire. But then, when you got the Mire, it's only a couple more things. So, overworld routing was actually pretty good. Pretty straightforward, so... And the only question I really have, because I don't really have it very much, this seemed like a very straightforward seed, was you seem to go for the dungeons instead of... Well, okay, why'd you put off Death Mountains as long as you did? It ended up working out, but... You
know what? I really don't know. I was just feeling that there were better options, and especially more crystals that I should just clear down on the lower Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I decided to go do Fat Fairy, I had it in my mind, let me do Swamp, and then I found the book there, so let me do Bombo's Tablet, let me just route to Fat Fairy, and then just head straight back over to Pod, and just make it a kind of linear thing that way.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It probably wasn't the most efficient. I mean, had I gone, at that point especially, had I gone up to Death Mountain, I would have wound up finding the lantern, and then that would have put me in go mode a little bit earlier, but it's, you just gotta pick something and run with it. There's no exact science to rando, and that's what I was feeling.
Nice. Right, it worked out. I mean, the only time losses you really had was just the going back into Pod to check the big chest and full clearing Swamp, but you definitely made up for that with, clearing Mire the first time and some of the other stuff. So, all in all, it was a good race, and yeah,
awesome.
Thanks so much congrats to both you guys for putting on a good show. DT moving on 2-0, still undefeated. And Short's going to move on 1-1. So, looking forward to both of your next races in the future. And Schwartz, you should definitely pick up a mic so we can chat with you next time. But thank you so much. I've been reading your dialogue in the IRC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming 3. Any final words, DT? Or Schwartz? I'll read it out loud.
Nothing I can really think of. Major GG's to Schwartz. Like I said, he's a fantastic runner. I was not expecting to win on this one. And I would have been thrilled to lose, actually, because I have a lot of respect for him as a player. That's all. Thanks for commentating, guys.
Thank you. All right, guys. Make sure to follow these runners in the name of DT and I am the Schwartz. They're amazing players, amazing members of the community. Make sure to follow our tracker, as well as Futon. You can follow him. He's cool.
Yeah.
Hit all the buttons. Do all the things. Right now, there is a race going on over at Speed Gaming 2. Triple Z versus Resi. Yeah, nailed it. I've been Willard J. Bradley, and thank you for watching, guys.
Have a good night, folks.